Fadi, Fadi, I know Fadi, Anu Makom Ele Mavayo. Fadi, Fadi, you know Fadi, Anu Makom Ele Mavayo. Lama Zenger Shavuchi, Hadamele Malchai, Ameluchi, Gomi Moinola Veyomayo. Lama Zenger Shavuchi, Hadamele Malchai, Ameluchi, Gomi Moinola Veyomayo. Fadi, no Fadi, Anu Mago Mele Malchayo. Fadi, no Fadi, Anu Mago Mele Malchayo. Good Erev Shabbos Rabbi Sai. Live from Austria. Unbelievable. Nice Solim showed up. I want to say a tremendous Shalom Aleichem, first of all to everybody. But when you come all the way from South Africa, it's a big chiddush. Here, let's spin it around quickly. And say Shalom Aleichem to Leon Welcher. Shalom Aleichem, Rav Leon. How are you? And Mendy, shkach for convincing him to come. It's a big zach. And who else? Oh, we have the Palchiks that came all the way from Malta. 10 days in Malta, unbelievable. And then we have the Stefanskys, Pinchas's son, and Jonathan, his son-in-law, and a bunch of other guys from Schweiz. Remind me of the names. The 3-generation guy. What's your name again? Kornfeld. So you're 3 generations. Kornfeld. Sorry. 3 generations. You, your son, and your grandson. And then we have the mayor from Davos. Wie heißt die?
Raphael Mosbacher. Rafi Mosbacher.
Rafi Mosbacher. And you?
Isaac Mosbacher.
Wow. Shalom Aleichem, everybody. Okay. Ready to go. We're having a lot of fun here. It's mamish a great matzav. Today, we saw unbelievable in Fleis HaBoira. I'll show you a little bit of it. Before we go, these are the psukim, a lot, like the amudim and all that stuff, they sold out, but they're selling amudim that people are willing to be mishtatev. But now these are the, so to speak, the special psukim, the ones that have to do with shiduchim and children, zayir shekayom, and parnosa, all the stuff is available. Was noch? I wanted to say Yishkoyach, first of all, to my chavrusa, my Rebbe, Rabbi Yedida Kramer, who gave shir today, even though it was Shabbos Sheva Brachas. Not that it makes a difference to him. I mean, Shabbos Sheva Brachas, not Sheva Brachas, it's all the same. Every day, yeah, before the wedding, hour before the wedding, we were learning. But here you could see Rebbe Bunim Boim, he just came back, the Ger Chassid, all the way in the back, big Talmud Chacham, Grada. He came back from sitting Shiva. He went straight to the Beis Medrash to the live shir. Well, not live shir, I should say the shir. Not the Yerushalmi in the front. The guy all the way in the back. This was the shir today that he gave. Okay. And this is the Israeli chaver that came. They're here. They were in the first year. They're singing songs on the lift. The local Austrians don't know what to do with these guys. Energiot. What's this? Oh, the Palachik family that's here doing the dive in Sarajevo. This is 12 minutes away from the hotel. Literally 12 minutes away by car. It's a very nice, it's a canyon. You see that bridge over there, it's very cool. And the view, this view right over here, if you pause, okay, too late. But the view is out of this world. This is 12 minutes by car. 12 minutes by right across the street, but literally across the street. There's a very nice waterfall, like nice. You see the river. So on Shabbos, you just cross the street and go. Just don't carry anything in your pockets. This was another one. We went to 2 today. The force of this thing also, but this you have to climb a lot of steps. It got me good, those steps. 186 steps, I think it was. And you have to wear a helmet. They give you a helmet. So it's like all of it. You have to pay €6. This one you have to pay. The other ones you don't. And have a cave. That's my helmet. Yeah. What's now? Oh. That's in Hebrew. No, I don't want to show that. But this one, I think. Boyside, we're here in a canyon that's literally 10 minutes away from the hotel. Beautiful place, but here's the kicker. It's Erev Shabbos. We didn't have time to learn with my chavrusa and go on this little trip. So I'm learning with my chavrusa on the trip. Here he is. Rabbi Yedidia Kramer, say Shalom Aleichem to the Oilam in America or around the world. It's real. We were actually learning.
Learn, player, and enjoy.
I was showing him, and I got him on video, and then I realized,
Enjoy nature, learning a little player. This is mamish.
We're doing nature, learning a little player. That's more accurate. Because I didn't have the Gemara in front of me. I just had the AirPods, and we were learning. But okay, beautiful. I mean, I learned the sugya twice before I learned it with him this morning, and then usually what happens is at about 10, 11 o'clock, we start driving for an hour, so I learn with him in the car. But over here, it's only 10 minutes away, 12 minutes away. So we got there, like, oh, what do I do now? So we learned while I was walking, and I shared some of the views with him. He tells me, it's much nicer and better in the Beis Medrash. Mendy, you understand what I'm saying, right? He told me, he says, I don't understand. If you go to the hotel, so why do you have to go on these trips? Why don't you just stay in the hotel? Isn't it much better, like, to be in the hotel, to be by yourself? It's like, so I could have been in a hotel in America. I could have been in a hotel in Israel. No, you don't understand what I'm saying. Yeah, you're right, I don't. Fine. The official edition of MDY Shas, the Masechet sponsored by Zevin Yal Sholof, the Perek by Ilan and Mary Davidovici, Leonishmas Shai ben Aaron, and Yocheved Chava Itl Bas Avrom. Davron Ches by Saul Rosenberg, Leonishmas Dov ben Reb Shimon, Chava Bas Yaakov Alevi, Mordechai ben Shlomo, Necha Bas Avrom Yehuda. The Masechet sponsored by David Solomon, dedicated in memory of Avimoy Reb Shmuel Baruch, Ber Reb Chaim Tzvi Dov Zichron Levracha. The Polachik Family Foundation. Finally, I get to say it when they're here live. You want to say it? Say it loud. The Polachik Family. Here, hold on. I'm going to turn it to you. And you're going to say, here, go.
The Polachek Family Foundation.
Oh, in honor of MDY Latin America and their warm hospitality. Y vamos siempre adelante. Is that how you say it? What is that?
Weiter, always forward.
Weiter, always forward?
Always forward.
Weiter. Kadima, wow. Okay. Anonymous, Hatzlacha Baruch, they try to get me every time. They try to like put those words in that I can't read. Hatzlacha Baruch, and thank you to Chief Benny. Shmuel and Ahova Schuster, one of the best sounds you'll hear during this year is when one of these annoying flies gets caught in that machine. You'll all have a no with me. Wow, he's on my Gemara, this Mechutzev. Oh, Mechutzev. Go over there for Shechita. Shmuel and Ahova Schuster for continuing Hatzlacha Nachas from our children. And others are complete refuah Shneim and Arichas Yom Talei Bas Esther. B'Yom and Daniel Rosenfeld Brius v'Simcha. Multi sponsors and anonymous Leonid Shmas Yonatan Eitan ben Mordechai Zev HaKoyin Zichron Levracha. The Tzviz Leonid Shmas Yonatan Eitan ben Mordechai Zev HaKoyin Zichron Levracha. Ari Simon refuah Shneim Avi Mori Baruch ben Miriam. Anonymous refuah Shneim Rabbi Yerucham ben Yehudis and Avram Yishai ben Slav Dvoyer Amen. The Spanish year sponsors a big refuah Shneim with a close friend Naftali Harris ben Chaya Pesia. More than Lisa Rappaport, in loving memory of Dr. Robert L. Harris on his Shloishim. Since Shabbat should have an Aliyah. Eli Greenberg, in honor of Abba Renard, should be a Zechus for Shefa and Bracha in all areas. Amen. We all love Abba Renard. Yishkoyach Eli Greenberg. MDYR, Mondler, for Shlomo, Mordechai ben Esther, the Force Ayelet, Daniel Zev ben Ayelet Esther. Rabbi said we're holding 8 lines from the bottom of Nun Zayin with base. Try to do as much as we can. It is Erev Shabbos. Even if we go just for an hour It's going to be very, very close to davening here. We did this shir in Hebrew, and now we're doing it in English. And here's the question that in the Hebrew shir, no one knew. I'm hoping that somebody here would know. And calm down, you watching the shir, you know the answer. Don't jump at the screen because not everybody knows this answer. Here's the question. Only if you weren't here by the shir before could you answer. When is it permitted to eat a live worm? Live, whole live word, geschmack. You're allowed to eat it right out, straight out. When? Huh? A worm, toilas. Averim, how do you say it in Avum?
When it's inside the animal.
The Americans don't know how to pronounce the W. They think it's a woo. It's a woo. Volkswagen. Okay. No one? Anybody?
When it's inside the food, the meat or the fish.
What does that mean inside a fish? If there's a worm in a fish, you'll let it eat it?
You don't realize it.
When you don't realize. You're close, but no, that's not reason. Huh? L'chatchila. I'll tell you when people, the Olam doesn't realize, when the Olam eats worms all the time, l'chatchila, in herring. In herring, there's a lot of, no, that you're not allowed to. That you have to wash very, very well. It's very hard to eat strawberries. I eat a lot of strawberries, I love them, but you have to, the OU tells you how to do it. Everybody, you have to wash it twice and with soap. That's a bigger problem. That's a problem. But I'm saying l'chatchila, a live worm, he's looking at you, he's squealing around, you're allowed to eat it. That we're going to learn today. I'm not making this up, it's emes. Should I tell you the answer?
You just said it before.
What?
In the herring.
But why? Why? When a worm is born inside the fruit, it wasn't on the ground, it was born in a fruit, that's where it was born, and didn't come out, then you're allowed to eat it.
An apple too. Then you can eat an apple too. If there is an apple.
Yeah, but if it came in from the outside to the inside, then no. Sometimes they come from the outside into the inside.
You see a hole then.
Right, you do see a hole. You usually see a brown little hole. That means it came from the outside. That's why you're not allowed to eat it.
And by the strawberries you don't have that?
No, they don't live on the inside. They're on the outside. You look closely, you'll see them moving around. That's problematic.
How am I supposed to know that?
Oh, Omer Avuna, similar treifa. You're supposed to look. If you can see with your eye, then it's a problem. Omer Avuna, similar treifa shnei chodesh. Yeah, you got it. 8 lines from the bottom. When an animal lives for 12 months, you know that it's not a treifa. So the Gemara, this is what we're going with, this assumption, the entire Masechta, 12 months. The Gemara says, where did you get it from? Who told you about this 12 months? Meisvei similar treifa kol she'enu yeledis. If, in other words, you have to do the reverse. If a female animal gives birth, you should know she's not a treifa. If this animal is getting bigger and stronger, you know that she's not a treifa. If it's what's the word? Withering. Is that a good word? If it's getting skinnier and weaker, you should know this animal's a treifa. Vera to the balabos. Mitztamik vera lo to the balabos. Rabbi Omer, mitztamik. Similar treifa shleishim yoyim. You wait 30 days. It could last for 3 years a treifa. Says the Gemara. So that's the yesod really, that if an animal is a treifa, it usually won't last X amount of time. But what if it does? It doesn't make it not a treifa. It's still a treifa. It could last for 10 years, but it's a treifa. You're not allowed to eat it. Says the Gemara, this svara, not svara, this shita of 12 months is actually machlokes tanoim desanya ubegogoy sheish bo nekev Voch echad aroich. I'll remind you the picture that was from Kol HaLashon. This picture, Kol HaLashon, who gave us reshus to use all their pictures. So if there's a hole in a skull the size of a drill bit, whatever size that is, it's treif. So if you have a bunch of little holes that together they add up to the drill bit, or it's a long one, a lot of small ones, they combine to make one drill bit. There's a story in Imbol that a guy got a hole in his head. So they made him a helmet out of a pumpkin. So we have the video of how it happened, because we're very into how it happened. Oh, hold on. Let me just tell you. We have to continue to see the end of the video. I stopped it right at the mid-air. That's that Maisa. How's it doing there? If you stopped it right here, how you doing? I'm doing great. There's great air. It's geschmack. But in 10 seconds, splat. That's our life. How's it doing? You're doing great. But you wait 10 seconds. What'd you do? Shaita. Oh. Why did you bring me a rye from a guy with a helmet? That was in the summertime. Come visit him in the winter. Let's see if he survived. In other words, here we see the concept of the 12 months. Miyad Meis. He cannot survive 12 months. Here's the sheet. You asked me, where's there? Who says the sheet of 12 months? We had 30 days. We had this. No, here it is, 2 months. All right, so let's see the video again. Sorry. Yeah, so you're and the chayef, it's already snowing outside. You know, he's not going to survive. This is the pumpkin head, the kalavasa. So says the Gemara. Remember this Rav Acha bar Yaakov. We're going to have him on Omid Aleph. Halacha. Treifa Yoledes Mishabachas. We had many times in Masechtas Chullin halacha. The Gemara gives us a psak. Halacha. Treifa Yoledes Mishabachas. In fact, Rav Acha holds that an animal, a female who is a treifa, can give birth. It's not a problem. And it could actually gain weight, do better, but it's nevertheless a treifa. I want to pause here for a second because yesterday I went out on a limb. It wasn't a limb. I know the chevra. I know that they're geschmack. So I said over a story that I said like literally a day or two before. I was moisif a little bit because I was very nisragish when I heard the story again with all the details. I said it over. The story about the girl that got killed. She was 8.5 years old. You heard the story, Mendy? Yeah. So you're not going to believe it. I said somebody's going to make shalom. A guy wrote into us that he hasn't spoken to his father since his parents got divorced. You know how it goes, these messy divorces. He had many years. He said many years. I don't know how many years. He took this clip and sent it to his son. The father took it and sent it to the son.
The clip from yesterday.
The clip from yesterday. Me. So just telling them, make shalom with somebody, father, son, father. He sent it to his son, and the son called him up and they spoke for 2 hours. 2 hours. Many years. And the son said that he's making a simcha now and he's inviting his father. He has a simcha mamash coming up. Father and son. And there's a lot of them. So if I said over the story second time, I asked Mechila, but if just for this one guy that we know of, one person reached out and said, you know what? I did it. So, Be'ezer Hashem, more people, everybody knows that person, that neighbor. It could be Mamash Ashtus, the guy in shul. You know what I'm talking about. One phone call. And I'll say it, Nachamal. The phone call is uncomfortable, and sometimes it's always, you're 100% right. There's no Shiloh. The father's 100% right. Everybody's 100% right. Even though you're 100% right, you call up and you make shalom. You ask them, you have to be mashper yourself. You have to humiliate yourself. Say, I'm sorry. I'm mamish sorry. Even though you know you're not sorry. Like, you don't have to ask him, he should ask you that mechutzev. No. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. You're 100% right. Let's go. Let's move forward. It's unbelievable. Sinas chinim. We'll bring the Mashiach. So the Gemara. I went over to a guy. I was in Chicago. I went over to the guy. I said, "Listen, this is crazy. You're not speaking to your mother. It's mishuga. It's crazy. Think about it. Your kids don't know the grandmother. It doesn't make any sense. This, that." He says, "You're right. And he picked up the phone and he called her up. Sometimes an outsider, you just got to wake these people up. This is years. It's going on for years already. Mishuga. Enough. You don't even know what you're fighting about anymore. Just pick up the phone. Zog the Gemara. My brother called me up now. Yesterday he said, I don't know if he saw the clip or not. He said, you know who we should talk to? That and that guy. I said, I did talk to him. I did. Just yesterday. I said, is this an emergency? He said, no, it's 30 seconds. Could you convince this and this guy? I said, I did. And he called. Zog the Gemara. Vishavim bebeitzas. Oh no, I skipped. Omar Meimar. Bottom of the last words. Yeah. Last words in Amen. Hani beyo de treifa. Huh? We don't know. We have Reb Nachman's Talmud. Mr. Weiter is good enough. Omar Meimar hani beyo de treifa. Okay, so we know that the. You know what? I'll show you the video. I don't know. This is the last part of this video. I wasn't so excited about, but listen, Yoshi made it. I'm showing it.
The journey starts when a fully grown yolk drops into a special funnel-like tube. As it travels, thick layers of egg white wrap tightly around it. Twisted strings form inside, hold the yolk safely in the center. Next, 2 clear, thin skins wrap around the white. Over the next 20 hours, a hard outer layer is pieced together like a tiny suit of armor, topped off with an invisible shield. Finally, the finished egg is laid, a complete masterpiece of nature, built from scratch in just 24 hours.
Okay, so we're talking about these eggs. In the chicken, at any given time, I think there's 21, whatever is like larger, every day, and 1 egg comes out, I think, something like that. And so I heard this places 2 eggs a day, 1 egg kids, but berach, yeah, let's say 1 a day, and there's like, let's say 20 undeveloped eggs in there. So when the mother chicken is a treifa, let's say a weasel came and grabbed it by the neck, made it a treifa. So what about the eggs? Shichalo kama asira. All these eggs that we saw in there, there's different pictures here. These eggs, or these eggs, they're all in there, right? They're all asr. So let's call it 21. 21 days of eggs you can't eat. Why? Because we know the concept uber yerachimoy. The fetus in a cow, in a sheep, is like the mother. So if the mother's treif, the heart is treif. If the mother's treif, the fetus is treif. So too by a chicken. If the mother is treif, all the eggs are treif. But what about eggs that were produced after she became a treifa? That's a beautiful chiddush. Unbelievable, incredible. The eggs, the future eggs, even though they come from a davar aser, and if you come from a davar aser, you are aser. Whatever is produced from a aser is aser. But since there's a male involved here, so it's 50% the male, 50% the female, or whatever percentage you want to give to it. But it's zeh. It's 2. It's 2, and one of them is a mutter. So zeh v'zeh gairim mutter. To me, it was a big chiddush. Why? Because the egg is an egg. This egg is coming out regardless if there's a male or not, and it's going to be the same size, and it's going to have maybe the same taste even. I don't know what the taste is, but usually, egg is egg. So because the male fertilized it, all of a sudden it becomes zeh v'zeh. It's like a kilo, 50% is attributed to the male, which is big. It's a big chiddush to me. And it gives it a heter. We're going to see later, it says in the Brisa that everybody agrees the egg of a treifa is asur. Why? What does godlo, anybody that speaks Hebrew, mean? It grew up in Isser. In other words, it developed in Isser. So what do you see? You see that even though you have a male, and Zev is a goyim, it's still asur. It says it grew up in Isser. It says no. What happened was the safna ma'ara. It's not. There was no male involved. It hatched the egg, or not hatched the egg. It laid an egg. Just started now. Yeah, we're like 20 minutes late. It laid an egg. You came back. You were there. You have pictures.
I got all the info for you.
All right. Did you take a mikum?
I got everything for you.
Givaldi. The whole Olam can know about it. Tell him. Okay, so he went to a beautiful 2 legs, but he could only go at 4:30 at night. up until 4:30, there's a bus, and if you want to go by yourself with the car, you have to wait until 4:30. So it's a little bit of a problem for me with shear and everything. So we'll figure it out. I'll call Panavoifen. Here back at 7, so that's not bad. Okay, we'll talk. Yeah, but shear starts at 8 officially. So I have a whole hour till I get my breath back. Says the Gemara. Oh. But the Safna Ma'ara, that's when a chicken lays an egg without a male from the heat of the earth. In other words, just laid an egg like today. In all the egg factories, what do you mean? There's no males. They tried Adirabba. They don't want a male there. It's better if no male. A chicken can lay an egg. As the Gemara, we said the first words on the summit that when the first batch of eggs, the 21 eggs, whatever, don't use. Why don't you say that that's what's usher? When the chicken had 21 eggs in it, then became a treifa, those are the eggs that are usher, but everything after that is mutter. Says Gemara, you're right, that's great, but it doesn't fit into the wording. In Cain Gadla, the word Gadla is no good. Gadla means that I grew up with it. That the end. Okay, fine. So the word Gadla doesn't fit in. Mashma, that it started out from scratch and it's still usher. Elahadetnan Vlad Treifa. Rabbi say, listen to this Gemara. It's easy, but what's great about it, we're doing a complete chazara to the bottom of the 20 lines of a freebie here. So if you don't get it now, you'll get it later. But kedai to learn it now. It's easy. Says Gemara. Elahadetnan. It says in the mission of Vlad Treifa. This is gishmak. You have a sheep that has a little baby in it, but the mother is a treifa. A lion pounced on it in the safari. And out comes a vlad. Are you allowed to use it in the Beis Hamikdash? So we have a machlokes. Rebbe Lezer you can't bring it to the Mizbech. Rebbe Shua you could. What's the source of the machlokes? That, so over here the Gemara is going to say that first she became treif, then she got pregnant. So what's the shaila? Since there's a male involved there, it doesn't matter. We don't care. The bottom line is the vlad is also Rabbi Shua Savar is a goy mutar. No, there's a male. 50% goes to the male, let's say. 50% the female. You can bring it to the mizbeach. Why? Because this animal, yes, it's 50% treifa, but 50% is not treifa. It's good. Ask the Gemara a bomb question. I don't understand. Why are you telling me a case about bringing this animal to the Beis Hamikdash? Here in Austria, can you eat a sheep, rib steaks, whatever it is, a cow that was a treifa, got attacked by a lion, and had offspring? That offspring, can you eat it in Austria? Nothing to do with the Beis Hamikdash. The same machlokes. Can you eat the offspring of a treifa? It's zev zegarim. You have a male involved there. Maybe it's mutter. Or maybe no, I hold Zev Zegoyim also. But at the end of the day, it's the offspring of a treifa. Maybe it's also. Nothing to do with the Beis Hamikdash. Says Gemara, you're 100% right. The same machlokes applies in our days without a Beis Hamikdash, and it applies in the Beis Hamikdash. I'd rather talk about Beis Hamikdash because there's an awesome chiddush here. To tell me that there's a Manda Omar that holds, even though there's a problem always, if you're not going to give this animal to the ruler of your city, don't bring it to the Rebbeinu Shalom. But Rabbi Shua holds you allowed to bring it to the Beis Hamikdash. It's not a problem to bring it to the Beis Hamikdash, even though it is the mother is a treifa. To the Beis Hamikdash, you're allowed to bring it. Of course, you're allowed to eat it in Austria. That's the chiddush. You're right. I could have said a machlokes in Austria. I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about it in the Beis Hamikdash. That's a much bigger chiddush. Says Gemara. But we could say a reverse chiddush. But there's a man that holds that in America, in Switzerland, we have a lot of Swiss guys here in this year. A lot of guys. 50% of the people here on this table are Swiss. Schmack. Mamish makes me feel at home. I feel like I belong. You guys are gonna get me the Swiss thing. You're gonna work on it. Go ahead. I need a Swiss passport. Then when they ask me, and they always ask me, "Yesh chashtei darkonim?" Yes. Schweiz and America. No. I mean the Israeli one. No. Sure, sorry, speak Hebrew. Speak Hebrew. Every single time I go, they probably ask everybody, but me especially. So says the Gemara. Isn't that a bigger chiddush? Say that even in Austria you're not allowed to eat. I'd say that's big. I don't think anybody knows this. That in Austria you're not allowed to eat meat that the mother is a treifa. If the mother was missing a limb, then the baby, you can't eat the baby.
What has to do that with Austria?
Because we're in Austria. Nothing to do with Austria. I brought it as a mashal.
If it would be in Switzerland, would be
100%. I would say Switzerland. In Chicago, I say Chicago. B'Shemesh, I say B'Shemesh. Says the Gemara, I'm trying to bring it hands-on. That's only hands-on. I didn't have anything to bring to the shir. So hands-on is Austria. Listen to this. What's easier for a Rav to say, you know? What? What are you all excited about? Yeah. It's interesting. You know why he's excited? Because today, we were talking. My wife said she had this. We bought a thing to drink from, right? A bottle of metal. So she says she has to toivel it. So somebody said that at the when we were in Morocco, somebody said you don't have to toivel because I gave it to a guy and the guy gave it back b'matana. So Givaldi, yeah. So right. So I said, I have a great idea for an app. The app is called Koyach De Teira. It's a website. It's an app. Anytime you're looking for a good heter, they'll give you a heter. Whatever you need. You want to drink from a not toivel clear. You want to carry this. They'll give whatever you need. Now to make a chumrah. And I just said it recently. I was at somebody's house, a relative of mine. I said, "What are you doing? Isn't this awesome?" He says, "No." I asked my Rav. He said it's mutter. 20 minutes later, I said, "What about this?" He's telling the guy, turn off the light. I'm like, but you can't say it like that. He says, "No, my Rav said you could. The light, it's this. It's only LEDs." Every 2 minutes, it's like, "Hello, what's going on here?" It's like, then I told him, I said, "Listen, if I saw the entire Shabbos one good chumrah that nobody's machmer on, only you, okay, so then all the coolest I'm taking. But all you got is cooler, that it doesn't sit well with me. You know what I'm saying? So, fine. But for somebody to say, it's awesome. Are you allowed to eat this? No, it's awesome. You allowed to do it? No, it's awesome. That's easy. Everybody could do that. I can also do that. The chacham is to know the sugya so well, like Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, like Rav Eliashiv, to go into the details and to know how the radio works and this and that, and then say, you know what? That's mutter. Oh, that's a big kunz. It's much more powerful. It says the Gemara, to make something mutter is a lot harder than making something aser. So that's why I want to talk about the kula rather than the chumrah. One of the sweetest sounds in Austria is that sound that you just heard now.
תגיד, לא כדאי שנעצור בצד לומר תפילת הדרך?
יש מחמירים בזה, אבל עזוב. כוח דאיתרו עדיף.
טעות חמורה! כוח דאיתרא עדיף לא אומר שמקילים כי עדיף להקל. זה אומר שמי שמקל, השמועה שלו בטוחה יותר. כי להחמיר אפשר תמיד, גם כשיש ספק. אבל להקל מותר רק כשאתה בטוח בוודאות שזו ההלכה. אז מה עכשיו? כנס? נקודות? עכשיו תחמיר!
Okay, those who understood. Moti Belsky didn't, so weitergegangen. Says the Gemara, Umoidim bebeitzas treifo sha'asuro. And this is the Gemara that we brought before. And everybody agrees an egg laid by a chicken that is a treif is asur. B'desaf ma'ara, when it came by itself without a male, the chad goyemu. When it's only the female that gave birth to this, then it's asur. If there's a male, so it'd be zevazeh goyim. Zevazeh goyim is mutter. Says now we're going to repeat the whole sugya again with a few small variations, but it's basically the same back and forth. Ravacha Ravacha bar Yaakov. I told you to remember on the bottom of Amud Beis, Ravacha over there says, Rabbi Yaakov says that a treifa, you're let this. An animal that is a treifa is possible for her to give birth. Therefore, a chicken that's a treifa, it's possible for her to lay eggs. So the sugya goes well because a treifa could lay eggs even after she's a treifa. The problem is, not the problem, but Ravina argues on that last line on Lama base, and he holds that an animal that's a treifa can't physically give birth. Remember, a chicken that's a treifa can't physically lay eggs. Therefore, he has to say this whole Amemar differently. Then what? Same idea, but slightly different. Literally, we're going to go 20 lines now. But he sticks in the word suffix instead of treifa. You have eggs of a suffix. A weasel might have bit its head, might have not. We don't know. Suffix treifa. So what do? If it's a treifa, it cannot give birth. It can't lay eggs. So what do? The first 21 eggs in its stomach, all this stuff here. These guys, all these eggs. You wait. You put it in the refrigerator. You wait. If later on she lays an egg, after 21 days, let's call it, she lays an egg, then everything became mutar l'chatchila. Why? Because how could she lay an egg if she's a treifa? From the fact that she laid an egg, that's our raya, that she's not a treifa. But if she doesn't lay eggs afterwards, and then everything, the shichal al-kam, all those 21 eggs in her stomach, no good. So Rashi asked the question, same thing that we had before. Everybody agrees that an egg that was laid by a treifa chicken is also. But listen to the lashon. Gadla be'isur. She had eggs after she became a treifa. Gadla be'isur. No, it's talking about the eggs are already in her body. Imken gadla, the word gadla is no good, like we said before. Let's use another word. She finished off the egg. You're right, ni gamra. You're right. You really have to change the word from gadla to gamra. El hadisnan, but we learned vlad treifa, the offspring of a treif animal. Let's say a treif sheep. You shouldn't put on the mizbech. You can put it on the mizbech. Over here, he's saying slightly different than we said before. Over here, she became pregnant, and while she was pregnant, then a lion decided to eat her, and he didn't, but he made her a treifa. Gewaldig. How do we view the fetus? If you view the fetus literally as the mother, as another limb of the mother, of the yerech, another thigh of the mother, just like if a lion attacks a sheep, so you don't say, oh, it attacked the sheep, but not its heart. It attacked the sheep, not its lungs. No, everything in the sheep is attacked, is a treifa. So too, the fetus that's inside the mother. That's one way to look at it. Or you could say, the fetus has nothing to do with the mother. Yes, it's attached by an umbilical cord, but it's a thing by itself. If you want, you could pop him out right now, take him, cut him out. I don't know what. It's a different entity. So the Gemara says, doesn't that same machlokes apply in our days in Switzerland? Says the Gemara, that's for you. I want to tell you the machlokes in the Beis Hamikdash time, because that's even Rabbi Yeshua holds that you're allowed to bring it as a carbon. You don't say hakrivein no lefechosecha that it's a treifa, you shouldn't bring it to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. No, you could bring it to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ask the Gemara, isn't it better to talk about in Switzerland and in Austria, in Chutz La'aretz, in Eretz Yisrael, everywhere? But Bizman Hazeh, and that Rebbe Lezer says it's also to eat such an animal because it's the mother is a treifa. It's better, it's stronger to show the heter aspect than the chumra aspect. Umaydim says the Gemara, that when you have a vadi egg of a treifa, an egg from a treifa is also. When it is from eggs that are already inside the mother, because he doesn't hold uber yerachimai, so why they also? Typically, if you don't hold uber yerachimai, you hold that the fetus is different than the mother, so aren't the eggs different than the mother? The answer is no. Why? My time gufahi. Think about it. Eggs are different than a fetus. A fetus is very independent of the mother's, connected by a cord. But eggs, they grow on this stem, and they're part and parcel of the mother, so that then we're going to consider them like the mother. The Hilchasa says the Gemara, if there's a male, There's no way out of it. You have to wait patiently for 12 months. There's no tricks to know that this animal is not a treifa. But b'nekeva, kol she'einu yeledes, there is a trick by nekeva. What's the trick? If she gives birth. If she gives birth, then it's a raya that she's not a treifa. Says the Gemara Maravuna.
What's the raya when she gives the birth?
Because we hold that a treifa cannot give birth. If you hold that a treifa physically can't give birth, then this is a raya that she's not a treifa. How does she give birth? It's a machlokes if a treifa could give birth or not.
It's not a different what kind of treifa it is?
No. If a treifa is an animal, let's say, that can't live for a certain period of time, can't live for 12 months, then her body is too weak to give birth. Omar Avunu, kol brio she'im boi etzem, any creature that doesn't have bones. What kind of creatures don't have bones? Worms.
Snake.
Insects.
Snakes have bones.
Insects.
Sure.
Yeah.
Schlange.
Schlange is a vertebrae. Ask him. He'll tell you. Of course it has this. Yeah.
And a worm.
Worm not.
Insects.
Insects don't have. Flies don't have. Flies don't have. The Gemara is going to talk about flies. Geschmack stuff. Can't wait to get there on the base. Says the Gemara, so we have a cloud, even though somebody looked it up on ChatGPT. What are you guys laughing at over there? The matzah. You hear this? Somebody looked up yesterday when we were talking about ants. So does the ant, the queen ant, somebody said they live 15 to 30 years. Okay, so there's a oisnam that's a yotzim in a cloud. But in general, an insect doesn't live for more than a year. Maybe somebody look it up. How long do insects live in general?
That's the source of ChatGPT.
This guy is anti-ChatGPT, this guy.
I'm anti-ChatGPT unless it's used for good.
Good for you. Zog the Gemara.
You don't know what you're missing.
So, Shkoyach. Avi Kamiansky loves you. We're not going to tell you what he did. It helped. Yeah, quite there.
Say Palestine of a state of
So if it doesn't live for 12, if it doesn't have bones, it can't live for more than 12 months. Since he said this, says Rapapa, listen to this. If you have some sort of cucumber, some sort of a pumpkin that got wormy when it was attached to the ground, asura. So Rabbi said, here's the aside. If a worm grows in a fruit, that's
Your lowest is 6 weeks, like worker honeybees.
Wow.
6 months. Your highest are like cicadas, termite queens, and ant queens. 20 to 50 years.
50 years.
It's going up. Yes,
Cicada is different. Cicada, they come out every 8 months.
To 17 years.
Yeah, because they don't really live. They're underground. They go into some sort of hibernation.
That's nymphs.
Yeah, that's something
And
else.
they come out 46.
That's different. Okay, so there's a few. But how long does an ant live? Let's see.
And queen.
No, not queen, ant, just regular ant. I call upon him. A fly. How long does a fly live? Probably 30 days.
Shots, you know, they can't argue with the Gemara ChatGPT. 15 to 30 days is an adult. A general housefly.
Housefly, really? 15 days.
15 to 30 days.
Wow. They cause all that damage in 15 days. So,
Fruit flies are more.
what?
Fruit flies are more.
Okay. So says the Gemara like this. Nachmal, Rabbi said here, this is very important to remember. If a worm was born in an apple on a tree, then it's also to eat. Why? Because the tree is part of the ground. And it says in the pasuk, Kol asher zashoretz, v'chol asher zashoretz al haaretz. If it's on the ground, it's also. So anything attached to the tree is also. When it develops in a fruit that's detached from the ground and didn't come out, then you're allowed to eat the worm. You hear? Yeah. So here's a big problem. It's not a problem, but it's going to be a problem for you from now on. Every time you eat herring, remember there's probably worms in there. And you're allowed to eat those worms because they grow in the stomach of the fish. That's the heter. Just remember, it's geschmack, yummy. You're eating worms. So, if you wash it down with whiskey, that will kill the worm, and then so it's all good. Fine. Or tequila, in our case. Says the Gemara, Hana Tamri de Kado. Oh, so Mela, he said that if they live more than 12 months, it's a raya, they have bones. If they don't have bones, they can't live for 12 months. So therefore, here, I want to put it on here, I'll say in a second. So if you find the worms in dates after 12 months, they're okay. Why? Because they're new. They were created, they developed after it was cut off the tree. If they were there from when they were attached to the tree, then it's ala aretz, no good. If they developed afterwards, then it's great. We have to make sure it's 12 months because maybe you're looking at a worm that was there when it was on the tree. Now, obviously, the dead worms are also asur. Dead worms are also to eat. Turning of the daf. Let me just say turning of the daf for a second. Or not. Okay, turning of the daf. By Adar Global, the official non-corporate sponsor of MDY League, Encore Healthcare, as a schus for all of Klal Yisrael. I want to say shkoyach to Kobe, who did a lot of work today on the slides and everything, especially with Yoshi not being 100%. He was there, he worked today, but he had a very late night last night. So Baruch Hashem, he's back home and everything, but so yishkoyach to him. But he stopped smoking because of this initiative of stopping the smoke. Today on MDY, not smoking anymore, WhatsApp group. 2 of the chevra posted coming up in 3 weeks, 11 days, Baruch Hashem. Still very hard, but not like the first few days. That's Yossi K. Mistama and those chevra. Also, I don't know if I could say this, I'll say it, Jamie Azulai, one of our chaverim, came with us to Morocco, also stopped completely. He was jogging the other day. He's like, why do I do this? Like, why? So it's 5 cigarettes a day, it's not a full pack, but why? Let's just so, and he made a stop, and Shalom Yisrael. And then we have this video that goes with this sugya. Here it goes.
I have to eat.
What is this? There are worms in here. I want my money back.
Check the production date. Is it from the last 12 months?
Yes, it's ancient. Not only do I want my money back, I demand compensation. Call the manager right now.
Well, the package was sealed for over 12 months, so these worms were born inside. Not on the ground, it's strictly kosher lameo darim. You got an extra topping, but don't worry, it's on the house. Have a nice day.
Okay, there's always a first time.
But what are these worms? Are kosher?
Yeah. Yeah. If they grew up in that fruit, you have to know. If they came from the outside, like you were saying, that the worm came. No. In this case, they're mutter. Yeah. Well, they don't really grow in a can like that, but luyitzu they could. Let's say they came in with the oxygen tank, they would be mutter. Says the Gemara. I love this Gemara. Omer Rav. Leis boko bar yoima. There's no mosquito that lives more than a day. It's not really a mosquito, it's some sort of type of flying insect that has a sting. A gnat, the article says gnat, this one says mosquito. Can't live more than a day. It occurred to me, really, the same action could be one of the most satisfying things in your life and one of the most disappointing things in your life. And that is when you try to catch a mosquito, you go like this. If it's there, smushed, it's a geschmack feeling. If not, it hurts for no reason. It's like, So says the Gemara, this gnat, this mosquito, v'leis didvo bat shato. You should know that a fly can't live more than a year. So Amalei Papa, what's bat shato? A year or an hour?
A year.
A year, that's not good. Amalei Papa Abayo. So it's interesting. Rav Papa asks Abaye a question from a saying that people say, like folklore. You know, like V'amri Inche. People say, Shav Shnei Imra, 7 years, Boksami Baka. The female mosquito rebelled against her husband for 7 years. Why? The Amrlei, she says to him, Chazita lebar mechayza, the socha b'maya. You saw this gesunte, festige mechayza, this Baltaiva guy, this weighs, 250, comes out of the mikvah, from the schwitz, the whole thing, puts on his chashva towel that has the name on it, and usalik vivich b'zdinen, he went and he covered himself with nice cloth. Ve'yale, you went over to him, he's all nice, hot, just came out of the haisa mikvah, umatzas minay, he started sucking his blood. What's the taina? V'lo datli. And you didn't even tell me about it. Yeah, listen to this. So I think it's incredible. There's two things going on over here. Think about it. Number one, this guy has enough blood in him to feed millions and millions of mosquitoes. But this is the nature of a person, nature of a behemoth. Famir, als famir, you know. I'm not going to share. Why should I tell even my wife, my children about it? All this money I have, I'm not going to share. It's for me. But you can't do anything with it. What are you going to do with it? You can live 1,000,000 years, you're not going to spend all this money. You're not going to... No. It's a certain selfishness. He's a little tiny mosquito on a 200-pound human being. He suck and eat and eat. He'll never finish it. No, he doesn't tell his wife. But Rabbi say, listen to this. It's much more than that. The wife, she has a tremendous taina. It's a real taina. I'm a chutzef. He's a selfish mosquito. Very, very bad. Bad guy. But she spent her entire life being upset at him. For what? For the shtos. So think about it. Her entire life, which is one day, or as the Gemara is going to say, 7 years, but in dog years they call it. It's, dogs also live 100, but in dog years, 7 years, dog years. Mosquitoes also, they only live for 1 day. The 7 years in mosquito years. But she spent her entire life fighting with her husband, being upset at the husband because he didn't tell her, chutzpah, he didn't tell me about that gishmaka guy from a chayza. What's the mashal? The mashal is us. We also only live for 1 day, really. When did you get married? A day ago, right? It was like a week ago. Everything you think about is a day, like yesterday, right? Pinchas, how long ago did you get married? Just a few years. It's garnished. It's like nothing. It's like yesterday. So, but what do? We spend our year. The Rebbe looks at us and he says, "These guys are shaitan. They're fighting over nothing. They're not even living. It goes off like this. And what you do your whole life, and you spent it. We can make fun of the mosquito, and they make fun of us. It's the same thing, though. That's the mashal here. V'leidatli, akoponim. You hear from this. You see from this that a mosquito lives for 7 years. There's another saying. I'll ask you a kasha saying on the saying. It says that the mosquito in its stinger, he carries 60 like coins. That's how heavy it is. I mean, the mosquito is tiny. How does it carry something that's 60 coins? It's impossible. Ella, bit money to do. We're talking about in weight, mosquito weight. It's like so heavy for the mosquito. It's very large. It's a very large stinger. Mosquitoes also have this special. I'm serious. I didn't look this up, but a lot of times, I'm sure you guys try to kill flies like I do. So sometimes you get stuck in your bathroom. You take a towel, you give it a whack, and you think you got it. It's dead. It's like 3 seconds later, up, and it flies away. What's pshat? Because he was unconscious, but 3 seconds for him is like 3 months for us. You go to the hospital, you're in there for 3 months, then you come out. But him also, he was there for 3 months. You see, it's a different type of life. They have mosquito life. It's a fly life. I don't know. Maybe look it up in ChatGPT. What's Avi? What's 22 seconds for a fly? How come they're unconscious, but they revive themselves, they fly off as if nothing happened. They just got whacked. Unconscious. There must be, that's the pshat. Not awesome. This is also a chiddush gadol to me. If we were to think about it beforehand, if an animal has 5 legs, it's a treifa. But where? I'm going to tell you right now, it's only either the front or the back. One of them is extra, it's an extra. Front or back, which one makes a treifa? So yesterday we learned that there's a difference which leg is removed, the front or the back. If the front foot leg is removed, it's not a treifa. If the back is removed, then it is a treifa. So now, once you know that, when it comes to extra legs, it's the same exact thing. An extra leg on the back makes it a treifa. Actually in the front, not. What's the logic? The logic is because we have a concept in the Torah called Kol Yeser Kenatadami. Anything extra is as if it's removed. But not stam, it itself is removed. You remove one like it. So, when we are removing, if he has one extra back leg, and we remove that plus one, so you remove the back leg. You remove the back leg, it's a treifa. But if you have extra front leg, and you remove the front leg, plus one front leg, so you went missing one front leg. What is that called? That's called a balmum, not a treifa. Yeah, only a few minutes and we have to go. It's already 7:30. Crazy. People are going to start coming in for davening soon. Says the Gemara, if an animal is 5 or 3, that's only because it's in the front. It's worse. Now it's not a balmum. A balmum we're allowed to eat, but a treifa we're not allowed to eat. So if it's in the back, by time kol yeser kenatadami. You hear this nam? You ever knew this? Kol yeser means kenatad. You don't take off the one. You take the one that's similar to it also. Says the Gemara, there was an animal that havali tarta sanya devi. Does the Olam remember what sanya devi means? Sanya devi means the thing that even a wolf hates. What does a wolf hate to eat? One part of the animal that I forgot what it's called. Oh, blind gut. Basically, in the kishkis, it has a little piece that comes out, and it's a one-way street. So stuff that goes in there is very, very smelly and disgusting. So even wolves don't eat that. So what happens if the animal has 2 of those? So now we're going to take the same concept we just learned. 1 extra is -2. So it's as if he doesn't have any. It should be treifa, right? He took Ravuna's Yisaid and he said, oh, it's as if this animal doesn't have any Sanya Devi and they're both, so therefore the animal is a treifa. And if they spill out into each other, like so, Kshera. Because at the end of the day, it's fine. I goofed that there was a pipe to have an afkami because of Lila. I wanted to show you this video, but you know what? I'll show it to you even though we're running late. Let's just show it.
The basic crisis is the second stomach. Hashem makes an incredible thing. When the animal eats, the epiglottis covers up the air pipe and the food goes into the esophagus. It goes into the keres, the largest stomach, and it sits there. And then when the cow's stomach goes back, the cow chews its cud, it chews it again, and it goes into the reticulum, the basic crisis. The basic crisis grinds up the food. It grinds it up. It looks like it has all kinds of little cups in it, and then it moves on. The nature of the cow is that if it eats something that's sharp, a nail or a screw or a piece of barbed wire from the hay that it was eating during the winter, it'll get stuck in the basocosis. And when we look in the animal, often you will find an animal that has some type of damage to the basocosis. We check that basocosis to make sure that there isn't a hole, a nakuva. If there's a hole, it could make the animal non-kosher. Okay, here's the basocosis. Here's the basocosis. Lift it up. See, it's all good. There we go. It's all good.
When you do B'dikas Panim, you used to go right away to the basocosis and then open up the tarpish from both sides. So you find sometimes a nail because it eats nails. So why? They crave salty things, so they look for nails that are in the mixture. So they eat it and it gets caught. It's hard.
Okay, we gotta move on. So that's the basic koisos. So here's a great picture that Yoshi did. That it goes from the basic koisos. Here we go. Here, gufta means extra pipe. Here's a pipe right over here. That goes. There is a pipe. There is a connection between the two, but there's an extra one. So says the Gemara. I go to the Havanavka because of the Uvlila. It went from the basic koisos to the Hemses, which is next to it. So Ravashi the Midrava. Ravashi wanted to say the same logic that anything extra is as if it doesn't exist. So you take everything out, so it doesn't exist. But it's not true. All the wild animals, they have that pipe, so it's not a problem. There was another pipe that have a ma'abro b'mebi kosel lekarsa, the kresa. It went from the basic koisos to the keres. Here we have it, right over here. You see this extra pipe right over here. It went from the basic koisos to the keres. So Ravashi Lachshuri wanted to say it's kosher because we said a second ago it's kosher. You're going to use one, not a needle. Yeah, maybe a needle. You're gonna sew or do like some riga. How do you say like like weave? You're gonna weave everything with one needle. Where we said it's kosher in one part of the animal. If it doesn't say it first, you can't just bring a raya from another part of the animal. What do we do here? Hey, Nelson, let's just do a few more minutes. Hey, Nelson Bar Shilo. There was two intestines that came out from an animal together. But in a bird, it's kosher. That they finish off in two different places. But if they come out from one place, they call them at ke'etzba, and they finish off like one finger breadth away. Kshera. It's because the intestines go back into each other and they become one again. Even if they don't combine later on. That's why it makes sense the shear of ketzba eventually they get together. Even if they don't combine, what does it mean one finger? Oh, at ketzba, the end of the line, right before it relieves itself, over there it should be within a finger's breadth. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day, have a great Shabbos. We'll see you, Be'ez Hashem, on Motzei Shabbos.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDAF.com.